Hello. I am so excited to be doing this. I actually did like a little live video for my team over this, and it was really good. Like, everybody took a lot away from it. So I figured I would share it here on my YouTube channel. I haven't posted anything on YouTube in a hot second. So starting off the new year right and early. Um, so, like, the whole point of this was, like, stop playing ball with people who don't want to play ball with you. Um, I had watched another video on YouTube over this, and I just kind of put it in my own perspective, and I felt like putting it in my perspective, a lot of people related to it. Um, so I kind of took some notes over it. This is going to be super short and sweet. But I feel like this can kind of go with new distributors. If you've been in this business for a year or more, like, this still can benefit you. So one thing that really stood out to me was you're never gonna feel perfect growing your team. You're never gonna feel like you know everything. You're never gonna feel like you could 100% solely train somebody and get them to work immediately right off the bat. Like, you're just never gonna feel that way. But that's okay. But what you need to do is turn that feeling into excitement, or that feeling into something positive. Whether you've been in this business for 2 years, you've been in this business for 6 months, like, you can still do this. And sometimes it just makes you feel so much better, if you are new, to have somebody new with you and y'all do this together. Like, I just feel like that's so exciting, and y'all are kind of learning together. You bounce ideas off of each other. So I just think that's super helpful and beneficial. Like, when I started, I didn't really have anybody new right off the bat with me. So I just kind of ran, put my head down and put my blinders on, and just got to work. But anyways, and I also hear a lot about, like, being stuck. I've heard that a lot, especially within, like, the months between November and December. People say that this isn't our busy season or whatever. They're stuck. I don't know what their excuse is. But I don't feel like that's true. I feel like the only time you're stuck is when you're working with people that are stuck. So you can lead a horse to water all that you want, but you're never going to make it drink at the end of the day. So I think that's super important for you to know, and you to understand that necessarily it's not you, but when you keep working with people that are stuck, you will be stuck. And that is just that. And I just feel like that's super important. But playing ball with people who don't want to play with you. So what that means is, if I'm signing up a new distributor and I give her, like, some things to do, like we all do when we first start this business. We talk about making your dirt list. We talk about, making your first post. Just super simple and easy things like that. If they don't want to do those things, they're not playing ball with you. Like, they're not worth your time. Like, I know for the longest time in my business, up until, like, the past few months, I just always, like, dwelled on these people on my team that didn't work. And I'm like, why? What am I doing wrong? What can I do better to make every single person on my team work? But you're never gonna get there, because you can't want something more for somebody than they want it for themselves. So that's something I learned. And you might be watching this and be like, Bailey, I know all of this. Like, I'm a pro. But at the end of the day, like, I feel like this is something anybody needs to hear, whether you are ranked as a distributor or you're ranked as an ambassador. Like, sometimes it's just kind of good to refresh yourself, because sometimes we do have hard months. Sometimes we have months where we're just super hard on ourselves. And so we just need to kind of, like, get back to the basics and understand, like, we can't make anybody do anything that they don't want to do. At the end of the day, they spent their money to join this business. So, hey, if they don't want to work, that's their money they wasted, not yours. So that's kind of how I look at that as well. But like I said, if somebody is not going to take 2 minutes out of their day to make a post that basically you've given them, they're not going to work. They might come back 2 months later and be the next diamond on your team. If that's your case, awesome, like, cool. But if not, like, don't harp over it. Go find your next person, because I don't know if y'all know this, but 30% of the people who are going to join your team, whether you are, it works no matter what business, like, network marketing that you do, 30% of those people are not ever going to work. Never. And that's okay. So that's why I feel like it's always important not to just do like our steps to success. Like, it's good to go over those things distributor wise, because 30% of the people you enroll are never going to work, you know? And then I feel like this is a huge thing for me is leadership. I always thought leadership was kind of like keeping tabs on my team, having them tell me what they're doing, like how they're working in a sense. But after watching the video that I watched the other day, I realized that that's not leadership. Like, leadership is not asking a million questions. It's, you know, let's walk together. Let's do this together. Like, I'm so big on doing this now with my team. Like, hey, I just posted this post on Instagram or Facebook, and I'm getting so much interaction. Like, let's get this post up for you. See how it does for you. If you get any comments or anything on it, let me know, and I will help you, you know, reach out to that person or message that person back, whatever it is. And it just, I'm like, why did I not think of that before? But I think that's very important. But also, being a leader is not micromanaging your team. It's not keeping tabs on them. It's not any of that, you know? Like, it just goes back, like, if you're having to do those things, you're playing ball with somebody who doesn't want to play ball with you. Also, what I like to do at the beginning of every month is I make a little survey. You can do this on surveymonkey.com or something like that. And I'll just put a bunch of questions in there, basically like how people work or what people are wanting this month, things like that. It can be completely anonymous. Like, they don't have to put their names in it. But that way I kind of know, like, what that month is gearing up for. So I think that's super important as well, because sometimes people don't like to comment in group chats. Some people hate group chats on Facebook or whatever you do. Some people just don't like that. So I kind of give multiple options as to where people can give me their feedback of what they're feeling or what they're wanting to do or what they're going for, etc. Like, it just makes it so much easier. And then I feel like we need to honor the fact that our teams are constantly growing. Like I said before, like, it can be so discouraging if somebody's been in this business for like 0 to 6 months and they're still at executive. Guess what? That's huge, okay? Don't ever be discouraged when you're still sitting at, you know, distributor or executive. Like, you're still here. The only time you fail is when you give up. So don't ever be discouraged of the rank or whatever that you're sitting at, because that is one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate that. Like, you're still doing you. You're still doing something that's outside of your comfort zone that is benefiting you in the long run. And I just feel like that's so brave and important, because there's so many people out there that won't. And this goes into, what are people afraid of when they join your team? They're afraid that they don't have enough time. But guess what? We join this business so we can gain more time. People say that they don't have money. Well, anybody has money. It just has to do what they're willing to spend their money on. If they're not willing to spend their money on changing their lives, then so be it. Let them go spend that $100 at Target and feed money to somebody else who has plenty of money. So they're scared of not being successful. I feel like the biggest thing is people don't want to let themselves down. People don't want to be unsuccessful. And I don't feel like that's a bad thing to have, but success is built among multiple failures. That's really it. Like, I can't ever tell you anything that I've ever done or anything that I know. Anybody I know that's successful, like even Rachel Hollis talks about this. Your business is never going to be like this. Nothing in your life is just ever going to be an upward angle. Like, it's going to be like this, and that is okay, because you're going to fall down. You're going to fail. You're going to do whatever. But as long as you get back up, you're progressively going to go up, and you're going to be where you want to be. And then I feel like that is it. That's basically like what I shared with my team, and they just took a lot from it. So I figured I would put it here out for some other people to see as well. If this is somebody on your team that needs to hear this or whatever it is, that is it. So I'm so excited for the new year.